All right, so tonight at work, I had a conversation with one of my coworkers that prompted me to want to share the story. I was going to share it anyway, but he made it so that I wanted to do this a little earlier than I planned. So, he's talking about how when he turned 19 back in his hometown, he became a stripper for about a year, which of course blew me away. Didn't expect that, but I could relate. Now, all right, so here's the thing about me. I've always been an introvert. Wasn't until like college where I decided I'm going to try to be an extrovert. Still not very good at it. A lot of people will guess that I'm an introvert right away, but they won't believe it's hard to believe that I was worse, as in it's bad to be an introvert. I was more of an introvert before than what I am today. I can be extroverted for an extended period of time, and so that helps out when I Uber, and that's the important thing about the story. So I started out Ubering just like any other night, and this night I happened to pick up the first third of a bachelorette party. And so these ladies were a rowdy bunch, having a good time talking with them, hearing some things that maybe I didn't want to hear because it's lady talk or whatever. But had a good conversation with them. One of the ladies was named Jade, and I had to share that my first motorcycle was named Jade as well because it was green. Loved her, but that prompted the question like, oh, you have that's your first motorcycle. What are you on now? I'm on my second. That's her. That's Celine right there. Gosh, the angle's bad. Sorry. Ain't she sexy? Anyways, so they all were impressed with that. They were like, "Oh, he's a motorcycle dude. That's awesome." But by the time we finally got to their destination, remember this is the first third of the bachelorette party, they convinced me to come inside. Now, normally when I'm Ubering, I don't do this. Like I'm on my grind. I want money, but they were all like, "No, it's gonna be really fun, and we'll pay you for it." I'm like, "Hey, if they're gonna pay me for it, I'll come in." Because they wanted me to come in and prank the other two thirds. Now, what did they want me to do? Well, as I'm sure you can guess, they wanted me to pretend I was a stripper. So, the whole plan was for me to like stand at the bottom of the steps, and as soon as they would open the door, the next group of ladies to come in, they would play that really well-known song. They go bow, 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 wah, 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 like that. I think it's like Cowboy Bebop. No, I don't know what it is. Anyways, so that was an interesting time. We were talking. The girls were all laughing. A lot of them were very huggy. They like to hug me. And then they saw a next Uber come up with the second third of the bachelorette party. So I go downstairs. I do a few push-ups. I got a tiny chest. Even then, when I was still close to like 180, tiny chest. So I was like, let's get that a little bit of a pump. So I do some push-ups. I hear the door open. Music starts playing. I start walking upstairs, take my shirt off. Girls start screaming everywhere. The people coming in through the door didn't know how to react, and I go over towards, of course, to the bride-to-be and do whatever, say whatever. Don't really remember. I have all the girls freaking out. Had a good laugh after they explained the situation, what was going on, and I was just the Uber driver pretending and pranking them. But again, girls were very huggy, and a couple of them were also very hands-on when I had my shirt off. Talk about an ego boost right there. Let me tell you that. So, anyways, we were talking with the girls, everything, and then the last third of the party comes, and I do the same thing again. I think this time I twerk in front of the bride to be, but had a great time. They all said that none of them had anything to drink. I kind of doubted that, but one of my coworkers said they could have been doing drugs instead. But I don't think so. They were just a very giddy bunch of girls. But as I said earlier, I'm more introverted, so at this point, I started running out of extroverted fumes, if you will. And I was just kind of slowly closing, shutting my shell again. So my whole socializing ability is fastly declining. Just talking with them, and I'm like, okay, it's time to go. I need to go make money again, more money, and but they were all talking, and they were like, can you come Uber for us in the morning again? And I was just like, well, I would, but I have to serve at church in the morning. And then of course one of them goes, oh my gosh, he's a church guy. I'm like, I haven't had so many girls at once just like freak out over me. That was quite interesting. That was a quite interesting experience. But yeah, they gave me a giant tip on the Uber app for me staying, and then a couple of them actually gave me some decent cash, uh, cash on hand for what the prank that I helped them pull. So that means I got paid to be a stripper, which means I'm a professional stripper.